Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to a much awaited episode of Drip My Whip. As you can see, I have a green G35 because I live in Georgia where there's so much pollen that I wanted to start the vlog with that. Look at that! That's ridiculous. It's not on turbo though. Hey, buddy. Thank you guys for being so patient with me while I made this video. It took an extra week to get this all done because we have a lot of work to do. Off camera, I did add the rest of the paint coats to the G35's engine bay and got some wires pulled away and rewrapped. I also finished assembling its new engine, which came out of the 350Z, but I had to repaint the engine to a different color, which I'm about to show you. And I just got back from Z1 and just spent an ungodly amount of money with them. So please hit that subscribe button so that helps me pay for all of this stuff and I can keep making videos. We've got a new transmission, catless downpipes, and I just finished this engine assembly and it is ready to go in the car. I love the way this engine came out. I'm gonna pull out into the light in just a minute. I also grabbed us a new NVIDIA exhaust with straight pipes down the back. That'll be going on the G35 as well. I got a new pressure plate and I got a 6-puck clutch. The reason I went with the 6-puck and not a standard clutch is we're going to be using the car for a lot of drifting and clutch kicking, and I wanted a good clutch that can actually hold up to it. So I spent the extra money, got this, that way I don't have to do it twice. And I also went and picked up some solid engine mounts. You guys might remember this from the video where I put in the welded differential here, where we installed a solid differential mount to the rear of the car. So now we'll be doing it to the engine as well. Now that we've got them on the back of the car and the front of the car, this should hold the engine and drivetrain in place while we're sliding and it won't flex around. But yeah, big shout out to Z1 for that. We do need to slap this stuff on before we get over to the G35, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that and we'll get rolling. Now you can bend the fun part. Perfect, we got the trans mounted to the motor. There is nothing left to do other than sit it in the car. And that's what we're gonna do right now as we fight the rain, because it is trying to rain on me. So let's try to make this quick. Wow. Wow. I mean, it's good because it's getting all that pollen out of here, but wow. Of course, right when I wanted to finish that, I put a cover on the engine and the transmission so it doesn't get wet. And we'll get right back to it in just a minute. Woo! All right, rain is gone. I mean, it's still sprinkling, but... And now the birds are singing. And good thing I had the tarp on it because holy crap, that was a lot of rain. Go ahead and get this mounted up again. Pick it up. We like almost had it in there. So let's keep pushing. Woo! Sitting in place. Not too bad. That actually, let's knock on metal. That did not go too hard. Went very easy. Love it. Sat right down in there. We've got it on its motor mounts. Everything's in place. Now we need to jack the car up in the rear, put a jack stand under it, and we need to get the transmission bolted up before we bolt up the front. This is proving to be pretty difficult fighting through the rain. I've got bags covering up the top of the motor. We need to go ahead and get the top of the engine put on pretty quickly before it rains hard again. Every time it rains hard, I'm just throwing the cover back on it and just waiting it out. But this has not been an easy task. There she sits in her final resting place because this is I'm never doing this again to this damn car. This will be its only engine it's ever gonna get. Well, only DE that it's ever gonna get. Let's keep that in mind for future content. We've got the solid motor mounts on. The transmission is bolted up. Everything is put in place. Everything is ready. Now the only thing to do is a lot of stuff to do. So we've got the engine and the transmission sitting in the place that it needs to be. And now it's just time to just hook up our wiring harness, get everything plugged in where it needs to be plugged in, and just general hookup everywhere. And cleaning up the bay, and then we'll start putting the front end on. Underneath the car, I got to get the exhaust on, the downpipes on, and the drive shaft in, which I have not done any of that yet. I'm gonna throw the camera under there when I get to it. Woo, we're getting a lot of work done. Pretty much everything has been, all wiring, all little tiny hoses and everything have been assembled. We're losing light fast, as you guys can see. And we've been working at this all day, got a ton of stuff done. It's definitely not gonna get done tonight. I'm actually just gonna go ahead and work on putting this front end on for tonight. I'm gonna go get some sleep, and then I'll see y'all in the morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's the next day. Got a lot of stuff done yesterday, and we just had to call it quits. It was too dark, too cold, mixture of rain going on. I just wanted to start fresh today. It's the morning time. As you can see, pretty much the whole engine is completed with just some miscellaneous wiring and things. I've got to finish getting this clamp on and put the other side of the radiator hose on, and technically everything is finished. And then we can just go ahead and slap the front end of the car on. The only other things we got to take care of is underneath the car, got to put the exhaust on it and put a drive shaft in it. Put all the fluids in it. We'll be ready for startup. I'm suspecting startup is going to happen this afternoon. We're going to work really fast at it today. The silver went really nice with the black and silver motor. I think it's going to look really clean because we're going to have a big silver intake right here. This does get covered up at the end of it. I'll be installing all that at the end. So the rest of the exhaust system is going to fit, but the ending piece isn't going to stick out where it needs to be, so we'll have to have that corrected at an exhaust shop. We're going down the checklist and pretty much we're almost there. There's just a handful of things left, a couple of reservoirs I got to put in. Like I said, the downpipes, finished putting the rest of the exhaust on and Mello's done with it. I got to raise up the rear end and tighten. Hi, Caillou. Hi. What's up, buddy? No, don't come through. Go, don't get your head stuck. Don't get your head stuck. Side note, look at how much pollen this is. This is ridiculous. I swear to God, this is one day. It rained last night. It was all washed off. This is just from working today. And now I can sign the car. There you go, perfect. Well, we got a pretty big mess going on, but we are ready to start. That is something I'm very happy I get to say. Yes, we're not gonna have the exhaust how we want it, but you know, it's not gonna, just keep in mind, it's not gonna sound like that, but just wanna see if this thing runs. Gotta put some coolant in it. And I did take these tops, these top covers, I took these from the 350Z. They kind of fit, they kind of don't. I'm gonna make some adjustments to them, and I have a couple of things to tidy up. But it's time, let's start it up. Let's start it up and see if it blows up or if everything's cool. Okay, so it shot stupid amount of fire out underneath. It was just popping and popping. I think it has a misfire on one of the cylinders. That would be the only reason why it was doing that. So I'm gonna check all these connections. It's is running really solid now. All the temperatures and pressures look correct. It's got a bunch of lights on the dash just because the car has no idea what it's dealing with. Those solid engine mounts are a serious thing though. I can feel the vibration, which we'll do a review. We'll do a review of all the Z1 parts I put on it, another video. I'm gonna get this thing, I'm gonna get a couple more things buttoned up front tonight, and then I'm going to cut this back in the morning. I've been messing with this car since yesterday, just through the night, trying to figure out what was going on with it. The engine and everything works just fine. Obviously we're still waiting on the exhaust. Nothing changes that fast in a day, but I'm dealing with a clutch issue with the car where the engagement point is all the way at the floor. Literally at the floor is where the clutch will go back and forth in the transmission. Now, before you guys start commenting, just change your adjustment nut up here and extend it outwards. I've already done that. It's all the way out anymore, and it'll actually come off of the clutch itself. It's still doing that. Like, I can get the car to move, it goes back and forth right here just fine, but the clutch won't fully disengage. You can tell when you start to push on the gas a little bit more, that clutch is still engaged very slightly, and I don't want to burn up this brand new clutch. Wait. I just figured out what the problem is after just taking some time off camera and playing with some stuff. I took the transmission out of this engine just because we didn't have the problem with this setup. There had to be something I hooked up wrong. We don't just have a problem appear out of nowhere unless something was done wrong. I knew I did something wrong, I just couldn't figure it out. After close inspection of this one, I took its fork out. So this is your transmission clutch fork. Now this setup is used to push the clutch in. When you push on the pedal, it pushes that out and pushes in the actual clutch itself. Pushes. As you can see here, you know, it's on a spring load right here. And when you push, it pushes and gets it all done. You see the difference in clearance right there. So take a look at this clearance. This is it correctly. This is how it correctly goes. I installed the one inside the car wrong. My clutch fork actually came off when I was doing all the work and I threw it back on, but what I didn't realize is that I put it on wrong until right now. If you look closely, look at the clearance now. Look at the clearance between those two things. They're much closer. There's no spring on top because I put the spring on backwards. The fork is supposed to go off and go this way. And now you can see, look at the difference in clearance. At least now I know what I need to do to get the car fixed right. Just as an update, I pulled the trans out real quick. Well, real quick being taking about an hour. Got it out, pulled it out so I could get the fork out. I have it out now. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the fork in the right way and put this thing back in. I decided to film this anyway. Why not, you know? Okay, I got it in. Now I just got to bolt it up. That is a mistake I will never make again. Let me make that clear. Okay, I think we got it all fixed now. Clutch seems to be in the right spot. We got all the work done. Parted out the Z way more than I wanted to, but like I said, we were gonna do a full part out. I just didn't know it was gonna go that into it. Robbing everything off of it. What's up?
Dada smacked me in the face.
We'll go smack her back. So the only thing to do now is crank it up and make sure this pedal's in the right spot. Still no exhaust yet. I'm waiting on my welder. All right, needs a little bit of an adjustment, but I think it's ready to back out. Well, damn, this thing actually backed out on its own, so that's, I guess, a good thing. Next thing to do is take it for a drive, but we're gonna get this thing cleaned up real quick. The finished product is here, and Jesus, it looks amazing. I'm really happy with the way this came out. It's not, I wouldn't call it my best work just because I was really happy with the Z's engine bay, but I think the color scheme really pops on this. Now, if you guys are wondering, obviously the focus piece right here, we got Squidward. The whole reason I did that is from the last video when I referenced that it kind of looked like the future, which we ended up getting a little more black than I had anticipated. So if you guys are wondering who did this, that was my beautiful wife. She worked around the clock getting this done. It took her a few hours to do, and it ended up coming out really nice. I was really happy with the way she did that. It looks fantastic. I can always trust her artistic skills for when I need them. So creds to her on that. It looks great. It was a great centerpiece for everything. Obviously, we don't have an exhaust put on the car yet. That's going to be coming. The exhaust guy, a little late to making a house call today, so we're going to go ahead and end the video without him, and we'll just throw it into the next one, which you definitely don't want to miss. Just let me make that clear. Don't miss that. I had a lot of fun building this car. I hope you guys had a lot of fun watching it. There's still more to come with the exhaust test drives, if you know what I mean, and just a lot more content coming with this car, especially now that it's not knocking anymore. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the build, man. I'm pretty happy with it, and I'm glad to see it continuing on forward. And now that we got the engine changed, we got a lot more stuff we can do with it. So until next time, guys, I will see y'all on the next episode of DripMyWhip. Peace.